So it started small with their complaints. They started complaining about my weight. It really didn't matter because I would get my ass back on the road and go to Orlando and not be bothered with them. It started with my weight. It started with my dad like harassing me to move because I was living in East Orlando. The only reason why I moved to Metro West because my dad was like, you gotta move, you need to move closer to your job. You're getting these tickets. And then that was the first time I said to my dad, well, why don't you just teach me how to get my own car insurance? Then I won't be on your car insurance and you won't have to worry about any of these tickets or anything. He's like, no, I'm not teaching you that. You're going to move. The clinician is going to step in. Narcissistic parents love to destabilize you. That was the first time my father destabilized me because it's expensive to pick up and move even across town. It was a destabilization, which means I'm interrupting your adult independent life to make you broke. But I was not broke because when I was working at Harbor House in Central Florida, I actually was making a good salary in the domestic violence movement. And my rent was $700 in Metro West. It was a really nice apartment. I'm like, I'm living. Like, I'm really about to start a new life with new friends and everything. And then all of a sudden, my father comes to Orlando with his affair partner, telling me I'm depressed, telling me I'm this, I'm sad, I'm this. And I'm thinking in my head, like, I never told you that I was depressed. I know I say I'm kind of sad sometimes because my mom ain't here, but I never told my daddy I was depressed and that I needed to be around family. My father came down there and did that and told me I was depressed to get me back in Tallahassee because at the time I was dating a young man and I let them meet him, and that infuriated my father that I actually had a boyfriend and that I actually had somebody who really was taking me seriously. So what my father did was destabilize me again. The clinician is going to step in right now, right? A narcissistic parent will tell you how to feel about yourself. They tell you for years how you should be feeling, how you should feel about yourself. And in that moment of my father telling me, you're depressed, he was trying to talk me into being depressed and that I needed to move back to Tallahassee. Back to Rosa. So he destabilized me again and uprooted me, and I moved back to Tallahassee. It was a promotion, right? I started working at the Florida Coalition Against Domestic Violence. I was traveling all over the state. I got to Chicago, I got to California. It was an amazing job. It was just in Tallahassee because that's where my father wanted me to be, in Tallahassee. And when I moved back to Tallahassee, before I moved back to Tallahassee for 3 weeks, my daddy was harassing me to get rid of my cats. And a week before the move, I said, Dad, I'm keeping my cats. I love my cats. Because I do. Y'all know I love my animals. I love my cats. And he yelled at me on that phone and said, well, I think I'm thinking back. I'm trying to think about the conversation. I said, I'm keeping my cats because I love my cats. And he was like, you don't need those cats. He was yelling at me. You don't need those cats. Those cats aren't coming with you. They're not coming. I don't care what you say. They're not coming with you. They're not coming to Tallahassee. They're not coming to the new apartment. And blah, 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 blah. He was just going on. So I hung up on him. And the confusion in that illogical rant is the cats are living with me. Why are you so concerned about cats moving from Orlando to Tallahassee with me? I put Sammy, Samantha, and Savannah in their carriers, and they howled all the 4 hours to Tallahassee. Right? I move in. I didn't pay the pet deposit yet because I was like, I'm trying to, I just moved. I'm trying to get my money right. So when I finish, the first month of the first 2 paychecks, I will pay the $250 for the cats, right? Monday morning, this is Sunday when I move in. Monday morning is my first day at work. So I'm onboarding, meeting people. It's stressful to move and start a new job. I get a phone call from my apartment complex. Hi, Miss James. We just want to know that your father called us and informed us that you have cats. Mind you, I just told this man yesterday that I am going to tell them about the cats. But my father used that tactic to get me to get rid of the cats because he thought that if the apartment complex tell her that she has to pay that money right now, she ain't gonna have no choice but to get rid of the cats. It don't work like that. Apartments don't work like that. So what I did is just I told him, yeah, and she was like, yeah, he told you it's had two, so that'd be $500. I was like, well, I just moved, I was like, oh, no problem, just pay it in installments. First of all, I had 3 cats, so he lied to them, so he didn't know I had 3, not 2. So I ended up having 1 in there for free, and the apartment complex said that I could do installments. They was like, we don't want you to move. We just do installments. You don't have to get rid of the cats. They're just cats. Just do installments. I called my daddy that afternoon and I said, don't you call that apartment complex anymore about anything. My name is on that lease. Thank you for doing the legwork because I'm not in Tallahassee, but I'm on that lease and there's nothing else you need to talk to that office about. I want y'all to remember, in a previous video I did in January, in December, I think I did it December 31st when I said I'm no contact with my father. I also said in that video, since the age of 18, I have over 25 times where I have told my father to stop being inappropriate. And he continued to be